guys, so we are on training number 1 of how to use breakthrough broker to find some value in creating clientele, one, and to generate more interest once you've sold said listing. So we're going to go out and earn a listing today. So what are the tools and resources that I feel are going to be the most resourceful for you? Well, I do strongly suggest that we get out there and do some hard work. So today what we're going to do is first off create the account. So first off, I'm going to go over to Breakthrough Broker. Okay, and once I'm in Breakthrough Broker, I'm going to create an account. Okay, in that account, I'm going to go through, I'm going to sign up for my account. In here, I'm going to put some information, my first name, last name, email, zip code. I'm also going to include a password. Once I click sign up, it's going to ask me to go ahead and verify that email. Once I verify that email, I will be opened up into an account that looks very similar to this. So my Breakthrough Broker is going to be this main page. Okay. Now today what we're going to do is we're going to start to generate a listing from our marketing plans. Now there's a couple pieces of this pie. The first piece is we need to decide how we're going to do that. In our case, what I'm going to go through a class on doing is how to do that through door hangers. Now, why do I think door hangers are a great resource? Because guys, to be frank and honest, as we're putting door hangers up, you're going to realize that nobody else is knocking doors. So if you're putting that door hanger on the door, it's going to have some reaction, and people are going to have some benefit in finding out things like home valuation. And that's what we're actually going to pump out today is home valuation leads, so we can start that process of building up what you could consider not necessarily a farm, but you're actually going to be starting to fish directly for specific types of clients, because a farm is going to grow a large amount of crop. A fish, you're going to be going after very specific types of people. All right, so what do we do first? First off, I'm going to swing over to this marketing tab, and I'm going to go down to door hangers. All right, now door hangers are very reasonably priced to print, and the reason that is because they are basically just a cardstock printed on both sides. They're not being mailed out, so they're cheaper on numbers. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to lead generation door hangers. After I scroll open and go to that lead generation, I'm going to use the home valuation version. Okay, you can choose to use any of these, but at the end of the day, this is the one that I'm going to try and build out a actual value for you. Okay, now once I click on this get started, it's going to open up a baseline of how to build out this entire process. Now, basically, I'm going to have to set up a few things, okay, because I haven't set up my profile. So I'm going to go in and edit my profile. So I'm going to click and upload a picture. So throw that picture in there. It's going to edit my picture. It's going to tell me where to crop it. I'm going to crop it right here. Okay. Once I've cropped, I'm going to use this picture, and I'm going to drop that picture in here. I'm going to make sure all this other information is correct. I'm going to put my address. I'm going to put some information about my area. One thing, guys, as you're going through this, you have to be very careful that if you delete it, sometimes it will delete your actual sizing. So do it one thing at a time. Put in my office number and my website. And my license number. Okay, so once I have all that in, I'm going to do some editing here, okay? So let's meet for your complimentary home valuation. I'm going to change this a little bit. I'm going to say so I'm going to stop there. And the reason I'm going to stop there is because now what we're going to do is we're going to actually create a page by which we can actually go here and set up to get home valuation leads coming to us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swing over here. I'm going to go to GoDaddy.com. Okay, and so I'm going to find something that's valuable to the area. Let's say that I was working North Hills subdivision. So I'm going to try and see what happens when I go into here and put North Hills home value. I think I actually may own that, so I'm going to use it because I think I do own it. Actually, I'm pretty sure I do. So I'm going to select North Hills home value. Now keep in mind, you could go home value North Hills, you could go whatever version, but I'm going to use this. So North Hills home value. I'm going to swing back over to my home valuation, go to my editing, and I'm going to go paste that in there. Oh. So I'm going to make everything else a little bit smaller. That way it fits correctly. Let's take that up a little bit. Say about 18. I'm going to make that right in the middle. Take that out. .com. Alright, so North Hills home value. I'm not a huge fan of the font, but for time purposes, I'm going to leave that open there. For many homeowners, moving is a major stressful life event. Make sure that works. It works for what we're doing today. I'm going to change this out and say team leader. You can make this whatever you want. Alright, and I'm going to throw in some logos at the top up here. Okay, so let me do that real quick just so I'm not running into any issues. Alright, so once I click over and I look at my backside, I'm going to adjust some of those there as well. So I'm going to throw a logo in here real quick. And I did not grab my company logo, so let's see if I can put that in there. I'm going to throw that one in there. And here, guys, you would probably want to create a logo that was very well accented in. You need to have one that has both the company and everything else. So in that case, guys, I'm going to change this a little bit, and I'm going to edit and grab one that I think I have in here for both Century 21 and my stuff. Alright guys, so as I mentioned, I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to throw in a Century 21 Haggerty. Now in a perfect world, if you were using your own logo, you would want to have a mixture of your logo and Century 21's. I'm doing this in a class format, so I want to make sure that it's focused on the brokerage to make sure that I'm in compliance. So I'm going to do that real quick and drop this down into correct locations. Upload that image and it's going to populate right about there. Obviously, guys, you want to make this specific to what you're trying to attribute. It does have up at the top here where you're going to actually be having your cutout for the actual post when it puts onto the door. Okay, so we've created this value, right? But we also need to make sure that we follow through on the information. So remember, we ordered a GoDaddy North Hills home value. Now what we need to do is have a place where that's going to point and collect the leads. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to go to forms.google.com. Now if you have a Google account, you have one of these, and I'm going to create a Google form. Very simple, very easy, nothing fantastic. I'm not going out of my way to create a landing page. I'm just creating a form to grab information, and I'm going to make it pretty simple. I'm going to create a blank form. Okay, now I'm going to steal some photographs from Google and basically say about El Paso poppies. That's always a popular one. There you go. So let's look at a couple of these images real quick, and I just like this one. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to save that image as, and I'm going to call this poppies. Alright, so I have that image in there. Remember, all I did is I went to a form. I want to update and clean up this form a little bit. So basically, by doing so, I'm going to add some imagery. Okay, so I'm going to go in here and add an image. Actually, you know what? I don't need to browse. I'm just going to drag it over there, throw it in. And there is my image. Now I'm going to move that to the top here by clicking this little button here. And I'm going to call this North Hills Home Value. Now keep in mind, guys, obviously you can pay a lot of services, if I can spell. Now, that's not what my goal here is. My goal is simply to be able to create value, right? At the end of the day, all I want to do is create value for the client. So I'm just going to basically put some really simple things in here and add some value. Nothing crazy, nothing out of the extraordinary, just simple, easy, quick to the punch, okay? I'm also going to change my background a little bit. All right. Questions? Yeah, name. Pretty simple. Okay. If you'll notice, it actually creates it pretty much for you as you're going through. I'm going to create another one that says address. And I'm going to create another one that says email. Okay. If you wanted to, guys, you could also create one that says phone number. You can go as depth as possible. However you see that you're going to get the best reaction possible. Okay. So I preview this form just to see if it's working, and I want to look at it just to see how it looks. Works for me. Nothing crazy. Like I said, I'm going very simple here. Name, address, email, as well as phone number. Okay, they press submit. I get notified of that information. Bob's your uncle. We now have a actual landing page for a website that will be pointed here. So the North Hills Homes Value will be pointing to this website directly. And the way you do that, guys, and just so everybody's aware, this is nothing crazy, okay? But we need to make this form live if we want to make it work. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on settings, and I'm going to not collect information, and I'm not going to require sign-in. Okay, so I'm going to take that off. Presentation, show progress bar on, I don't have to do that, and quizzes, I'm not going to do that. Okay, so basically this now allows this page to be pretty much open-ended. If I click over on the send button, it basically gives me a share link by clicking here. I'm going to shorten this a little bit just to make it easier. Copy it. Once I copy it, now I'm going to go over my GoDaddy account, guys, and this is, like I said, this is not too crazy. I know I might be going a little fast, and keep in mind you can watch this over and over again, but I just want to make sure that I'm setting you up to how you could create an actual listing lead. Okay, so I'm setting up my domains, and I believe I have North Hills Home Value. Let me make sure of that. No, I'm going to go to my domains. So once you buy it, you should have your domains in here. For some reason, I'm not seeing all my domains. Why is that? Manage domains. GoDaddy is a site that changes almost daily. I have North Hills EP. We're going to switch that a little bit. We're going to call it North Hills EP. Okay? So let's go ahead and grab that. Once I go in here, I'm going to go to this little button that says DNS. Okay, so remember, I'm under Manage My Domains. Guys, if you need help on this, please, all you have to do is ask for help, okay? And from there, make sure my setting isn't at the front here. I'm going to click on DNS. Of course, they move stuff around on me all the time. I want DNS. No, sorry. Okay, so you're going to start back over here. You're going to click on your domain. I'm at North Hills EP. You're going to scroll down to the bottom, and they've now moved Manage DNS to right here. So you're going to click on Manage DNS. For Manage DNS, you're going to scroll down to where it says forwarding right here. Okay, now you can tell I already have a page going here, but basically what you're going to do is just click this edit button, and press paste of your form here. Okay, so this web address for your form will go right in here under your forward to. I'm not going to mess with mine because I'll get my butt kicked later on. Okay, so now that points to the page. So if somebody fills out this information on this page, that's going to notify you that you've received a form response. Once you receive that notification, now what you're going to have to do is crunch out a valuation really quick. Now, how would you do that? Guys, there's a million valuation tools. I'm not going to go into that training today, but basically your goal is here. You're going to go back, you're going to have this all set up, okay? This is all going to be laid out, broken down, and now you're going to be posting these on as many doors as you can in North Hills, for instance. When they fill out that information on your form here, that information is going to come to you. Now, your key here is that you need to pay attention to this because you need to make sure that you get them evaluation as quick as possible. And if you're not going to get it to them right away, you need to call them and say, hey, I'd love to look at your house a little bit more in detail because the valuation isn't working. There's a million different scripts that you can use, but you need to make sure that you have some value in that. Okay? Now, guys, it's simple. Go in, create the items of value. Part 2, make something where they have somewhere that they can get that item of value. And then once you have it, once you have that information, now you need to make sure that you react on it. Okay? Now the hope is that you pump out a bunch of these, you can now get value out of that and hopefully draw some numbers. Now, just so you guys see this, remember after I've printed all these things, what's this going to cost me? Okay, so if I buy 1,000 of these or 500 of these, basically let's say that we printed and shipped about 1,000. That's 59 cents pop that you're going to come back to you. All right, so basically what you need to ensure is that you are getting this back to you and having as much value out of it, because at $590 it's no cheap run at getting some information. But if you put out 1,000 of these, somebody's going to bite. Okay, and somebody's going to bite, and you're going to have a listing that comes out of it. That listing equating to excess of whatever your commission dollar may be, it will be coming out at that fashion. And your hope is, and remember, we're going to teach you how to turn that one listing into multiple. So guys, that is the first training. I'm not going to go too much more into depth. I already went probably deeper than I probably should have. Set up your account, get your actual card, your door hanger set up, make it personalized. Don't try to avoid just stealing the tools that are already here. Try and personalize it a little bit so it catches people's attention on your own personality. And then from there, guys, we're going to book a domain, and we're also going to register that information through a landing page, which in our case we are using Google Forms. I hope that was an easy recap. Watch this again if you need more information. Thank you for your time. Remember, part 2, we're going to actually be retaining that listing and now starting to market out for buyers so we can sell it to gain more listings down the line. Guys, thank you for your time. Have a great day. Appreciate it.